1971 per lap to reach 1,256 and so on. There is Worku, Fantu Worku, 23-year-old, 6th in the World Championships back in 2019. She was only 8th in Doha last week, but she's a 14.26 performer. Anything under 15 minutes is strong. Anything under 14.30 is incredible. Davies, unseen Saba, by the way. Brilliant run, 31.22 in North London. She's got an amazing range too. Butterfly, 7th in Rio 6 years ago now. That's back in 2016, the Norwegian. Very, very strong. 14.43 her lifetime best. Gallardo of Spain. It's only just broken 16 minutes. Quite a spread of abilities in this one. Ruiz is there as well of Spain. Again, in fact, several athletes in this field are knocking on the door. Good job. We might see a sub 15 here. Well, quite a big field, some 19 athletes, actually 18 now that Francine Saba of Burundi didn't make it. She had, unfortunately, visa problems, we understand. Indeed, speaking to Spencer Barton, the meeting director on the bus coming over here from the city centre a few hours ago, he said that they've had a nightmare with the visas for Ethiopian and Kenyan athletes in particular. It's such a strange one. It rumbles on year after year. The top athletes from East Africa there have visa problems. It's incredibly frustrating. And Neon Saba, who was a great winner of the 3,000 last week in Doha, again having visa problems with getting into the UK. It seems ridiculous in 2022. But this field, well, they are going with a pacer. I think that is Fantu Worku, who's slotted into second place behind the pacemaker, moving nicely. And you can tell that, Chris, because they're strung out already.
Indian fire, aren't they, all the while? Already in this race. Fantu, fine looking runner, really nice, just nice and relaxed. And Jessica Judd, third from right of picture, very tall, upright, instantly recognisable, and as you rightly say, comes into this race here with that excellent victory in the 10,000 metres and qualifications for the World Championship in Yuujiin already secured in the back pocket.
In fact, funny enough, I'm just looking at Francine Worku there in second place. She's got 16 on her shorts. She should be 17. So, but I think because Francine Saba has dropped out, she's been given the wrong number for her shorts. But anyway, Billing's doing a good job. They need to be lapping in around 70 seconds. They need to come through here in what, about 105 seconds, and they're a long way outside that. 115 seconds. So, yeah, 70.8. Actually, my mistake. And that's good pacing from Billings. Very good pacing indeed. Facer in 4th place. Gallardo in 5th. Battocletti, who had a really good winter. Very impressed with her. The Italian probably hasn't received the attention she deserves. European Under-23 champion last year, was 7th in Tokyo over 5,000 and ran a really good 5k on the roads 3 weeks ago in Germany. Along nicely now. 1,000 was 256 by loves her tennis and music and reading. She's in the police force in Italy as Battocletti. So many of the Italian athletes are sponsored by the government indirectly as members of the customs or the police or the fire service, one of those government organisations. And it is effectively a way of giving them a government grant and enables them to train hard. But Battocletti in 4th place, looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Jessica Judd back in 6th place. You can see the yellow vest of Judd, who's in such fabulous form. Her range is astonishing, Judd, by the way. She's a sub 2-minute 800-metre runner. Did that when she was 17, I think it was. And in January this year in Houston, the USA, she ran 67 minutes for a half marathon. She's got an astonishing range. As Jessica Judd back in 5th place at the moment as the pacemaker has dropped out. She's done a good job, Billy.
She's doing a really good job, the 24-year-old, so it's working for again. Quite a few of the athletes, Tim, did actually get their visas, but not in time to fly. That must have been extra frustrating.
Well, 1k was 2:56.85. We want it to be a good chunk under 6 minutes at 2k. 73.1. Now that has slowed significantly, isn't it funny? Pacemaker drops out and the pace drops. Nobody really wants to be out in front pushing it on. I always felt myself that if you go to the front, you're going to be blind to what the rest of the field are doing. You might as well get your head down and start making them work. Turn the screw a bit and put the pressure on them and at least get rid of some of your opponents. But I'm not sure that And Worku there at the front is really doing any damage to this field as they come through 2K, and it is not going to be much inside 6 minutes there. As I thought, 5:57, only a 3:01 that second kilometre after a 2:56 had set it up so nicely.
Well, you can see they've slowed because they've now started bunching back together again. They were strung out like a string of pearls, weren't they, for the first kilometre or so, and now they're back pretty much bunched in with the Ethiopians Worku and Faisa and Seyoum as well. 3 of the top 4 Ethiopians taking control of this race.
Well, Jessica Judd with that hard 10,000 in her legs, maybe feeling it from last week. Right behind her is Grovdal of Norway in 5th place. Gaps beginning to appear behind this top 8, something like that, maybe 10 in this leading group. They are still in pretty much in single file as Faisa now continues to push the pace along at the front. She was 8th in the World Championships in 2019, the 23-year-old. She ran a pretty quick 10,000, was 2nd in the Ethiopian Championships in Hawassa at altitude recently, 31:48. So if you're running under 32 minutes at altitude, you know you're in very, very good shape indeed. Well, meters where the pace just looks to have clipped up a notch or two. Not expecting it, frankly, to be much below 9 minutes at 3,000 metres, but we'll find out. Batacleti still in 4th place, Grovdal in 5th. Judd has dropped back to 7th place now. Easily the tallest figure in this field. It's so easy to spot her as they come around this the top bend there. And when they come through the line below us, it will be 3,000 metres. Well, it's bunching, which tells me that it's slowing. And that's a bit of a shame. Seyoum it is who leads at the moment. I believe making a debut here for 5,000 metres on the track. She's a 3:58 1,500 metre runner. She shouldn't really have to go to the front with so many experienced 5,000 metres runs behind her. She did run 14:39 on the roads last year, so she has got the strength. But it's Ethiopians 1, 2, 3 as they go through 3,000. Yes, 9:02.9. That kilometre way outside 3 minutes. In fact, what was it? Something like a 3:05.
Yeah, it has slowed appreciably, and that will play into the hands of the likes of Grovdal, who's lurking there behind the 3 Ethiopians. Jess Judd still in contention there with those raised eyebrows and rather signature sort of expression on her face. She looks as though she's labouring at times, but it's probably just a little bit deceptive on her part. Looks to be still in contention here, and what about 6th or 7th place?
So, Worku leading from Seyoum, from Faisa. Klein it is, who's moved up there now, and moving well too. Hannah Klein of Germany. I wrote in my notes she could go under 15 minutes for the first time here today. Her lifetime best, 15:01 from May last year. She's run 15:06 just recently in California. That was on the 6th of this month for Hannah Klein. Royal University Games winner 5 years ago at 5,000, over 5,000 I found. I think a bit like the 3rd lap of a mile or a 1,500. The 4 kilometres when you're really feeling it, but you're still quite a long way from home. It's a good place, in fact, therefore, in which to hit the opposition with an acceleration. It's a good place to punish people and test their will. Jessica Judd, still looking strong, moving wide there on the outside into 4th place, sort of leaning in on Grovdal a little bit, but it's Worku, Seyoum and Faisa. Grovdal on the inside for Norway, Judd on the outside there. The tall figure, who was a phenomenon at 17. I remember seeing her break 2 minutes for the first time. She won the European Cup, I think it was at Gateshead actually, many years ago now. Jessica Judd is 27, I guess it was 10 years ago. And yet she's now an accomplished 10,000 metre runner and half marathon runner. Worku, Seyoum, Faisa, Grovdal, Judd and Klein, and these 6 are away. Big gap developing behind them. But Jessica Judd has the pace, she has that turn of pace. that could enable her to cause a bit of an upset here. Funnily enough, she doesn't have a really fast 1500 to her name, Jessica Judd. I always feel as though her best of just inside 404 is a couple of seconds better than that, Jessica Judd. But these six away, and you can almost throw a blanket over them. I don't think the pace that Worku is laying down here is really testing them. 4K 12:02, by the way. So that was just inside 3 minutes, that fourth kilometre.
So they have quickened into the last kilometre then. Three Ethiopians in this leading group of six. Jessica Judd, from a British perspective, still very much in there, along with Grovdal and Klein. You just feel increasingly that the Ethiopians can just increase an injection of pace almost at any stage of this race, and maybe they'll start to whittle this group of six down to 5 and then 4 and so on.
I think we are going to see a sub 15-minute clock in 12:37, there or thereabouts, with 2 laps to go. A couple of 70s would see them well under 15 minutes rather. And they're bunching again as they head down the back straight here, and it is still Bantu Worku who continues to lead from Seyo, from Facer. Grovdal now beginning to move up alongside the Ethiopians. Klein back in 5th place. Jessica Judd just watching proceedings from the back of the group. They come into the straight for the penultimate time. With that 10,000 still very much in the legs of Jessica Judd, who looks like she's working hard there and might be just beginning to lose contact with the group as Worku continues down the home straight. And the bell this time, Worku from Seyo, Grovdal in 3rd, 13:47 at the bell.
Well, Worku leading the way, hugging that inside track. Seyo, her compatriot, may have to go wide. Judd looks as though she's been dropped, and Grovdal is the 4th placed athlete trying to keep pace with the 3 Ethiopians who've stolen a march here. Klein also trying to hang on to the coattails of Grovdal, and now Seyo hits the front.
Seyo with 200 to go then. Big acceleration there. Worku goes with her. Facer as well in 3rd place. Grovdal struggling to cope with this. Klein, in fact, back in 5th place. And they pass the Norwegians. They come into the home straight. But it is Seyo who leads. A little glance over her shoulder there. She would see exactly what she wanted to see. This acceleration over the last couple of hundred has created a big gap behind her. Ethiopia. Dawit Seyo with a 5,000 track debut storms to victory. It's a 10-metre win, and it's a very, very good time too. 14:47 for Dawit Seyo. I got the last lap therefore at about 60 seconds. That's the fastest, incidentally. 14:39 last year for